It takes a lot of supplies, ammunition, and provisions to get a line battalion in fighting shape, and this duty falls to the rear echelon companies of the Imperial Army. Hi, I'm your host Heatwave, and in today's episode I'll be covering one of the most important aspects of any military, its logistic support elements. Eyes up on the line. Your artillery shower was no mistake. They'll come over the dunes at any point. I shouldn't be here. I'm just a cook. You're a cook with a gun. Start acting like an inductee. Now here they come. Let's show these Mongols how the 14th holds the line. Welcome back to the Wings of Fire spin-off series, Empire of Pareena. In today's episode, I'll be covering the rear echelon companies of the Imperial Army. These companies are the most important part of each line battalion. They supply the food, ammunition, spare parts, supplies, and carry it all in a mobile wagon train. Without rear echelon companies, the whole line battalion would grind to a halt. A rear echelon company is a mess of smaller platoon-sized formations that tackle a different aspect of the needs of each line battalion. The inductee who man the rear echelon companies are typically troops of poor combat skill, experience, and knowledge, being recruited more from civilian lives to push papers and administrative duties, but this isn't said for everyone within the company. I'll start with the headquarters section. Of course, it's led by a captain or a major. This large HQ section deals with all the ins and outs, working even with government departments within Parliament to make sure the line battalions are stocked well with its needs. As I've discussed previously with other company headquarters, they manage the administrative duties behind the lines. Underneath is a massive oversized platoon of military police. These individuals are combat troops and fulfill a number of rear-line roles. Military police are responsible for patrolling the rear areas of the battalion, defending the many static stockpiles of munitions, and most importantly, directing traffic of the whole battalion. Moving as many troops as a battalion is in the air or on the ground requires a strong network of guides to make sure the battalion is heading in the right direction and is on time to reduce congestion. The job of traffic control is left to the MPs of this platoon. MPs also serve as local enforcers for the military, upholding the laws and their punishments. MPs wear exactly the same kit that inductee wear, a part of the infantry companies, but they have solid green stripes on their armour, denoting them as military police. Next is the even bigger Quartermaster's platoon. This platoon of quartermasters and their subordinates are responsible for setting up, packing, cataloguing, and distributing of stock from the battalion store. Many quartermasters are disliked for their strict standards of how their equipment stockpile should be laid out and sorted. Quartermasters work closely with all aspects from a line battalion, filling request orders and requisition orders. There are 4 types of stocks within a line battalion that the quartermasters oversee, and those are simply provisions, ammunition, spare parts, and spare equipment. All this stock, though, needs something to move it, and this is left to the vast numbers of caravaners and transporters who haul everything across long supply lines, from stores within the Imperial territory to battalion stores in the front. Using modified tanks, caravaners haul massive loads of supplies by ground or even by air. These tanks have had their turrets removed, ammo holds emptied into extra space for supplies, with a simple crew of 2, a driver and a navigation officer sitting in a forward compartment. They have the capacity to tow trailers or carry supplies underslung on the hull. I'll cover these tanks in a more detailed episode when I cover the armoured companies, but for now these haulers, as they're called, transport all other equipment of the line battalion, such as tents for the apothecaries or the mobile workshops for the engineers. The final group in this logistic company is the field kitchen, or mess section. Now, I mentioned before, inductee are issued with ration kits, yes, but using a modified hauler to carry a stove stack, Army cooks and their kitchen hands can provide morale-uplifting meals. Typically, they will only cater to the officer classes within a battalion, but it's an army tradition to provide troops with a decent meal before a major operation or engagement. The mess section carries fresh provisions and can even carry livestock too. One of the biggest advantages of the Imperial supply network is its ability to transport its goods and stock via the air, reducing travelling times, allowing for supplies to be dropped directly into troops who need it, and it has the added bonus of creating flexible and safe supply lines. Thanks for listening. If you enjoyed this episode, why don't you consider leaving a like and a comment and staying tuned for more, or checking out the channel for some of our other episodes. This is Heatwave, signing off.